Hey everyone, this is your daily channel message. This is for November 29th, 2020. And I do apologize that I'm late getting this to you. I just couldn't do it last night when I got home late. Couldn't do it. Because I did a festival and there was a lot of energies, as you could probably tell with your own self, right? So we'll just go ahead and get started. I went ahead. This is a Tarot of the Kingdoms. It's really a cool deck. Um, we're going to start with Temperance here. So thank you for being here, your likes and your shares. If you would like a reading, the information is in the description box. Okay, so I have Temperance here. So this card is a card of Sagittarius, but it doesn't have to be. Temperance right now, and this is reversed. So there's so much information. There's a need to bring ourselves back into balance. It's reversed. So there's the four elements, right? And the Temperance card is about how we balance all the different elements, especially fire and water, right? In other words, it's especially our emotions and desires, and how we, as the alchemists in our own life, we are constantly having to regain our balance. This particular card also talks about the element of spirit, which is many times overlooked. So keep that in mind with the next card coming, which this deck has, has a couple extra cards. One of them is Spirit. So this card actually talks about this being the hidden element. This can represent whoever's watching this, okay? It could, whether it's like the collective we're talking about or just you individually, you're watching this. And me, because this is reading, the readings are for the reader also many times, for us to gain insight in a different way probably than you, right? So this card is upside down, so it means that there may be a resistance to connect with spirit, especially when you're feeling off balance. And that is true for me too, today, very much so. Breathing, okay. So now I have the Four of Water, and I have this mermaid. So the Four of Water, because I just read it all, and I don't do notes, so I try to remember. I asked to be guided to what the most important points are. Okay, so because this is a different deck, it's different. Okay, so the Four of Water here talks about feeling kind of bored, ready for the next adventure or something. This card also talks about something coming out from left field. You won't see it coming. There's also, when I read it, it reminded me of how not being able to tap into the truth, maybe being just, excuse me, being distracted by what's throwing you off balance instead of actually looking at the good that is there, which is the typical reading for that card. There's something that's coming in though, and so it's a little bit of a warning to get yourself in balance and be connected to spirit, because you're going to need it. Okay. Okay, so the next card, and so these two cards below are like the bringing together of these three. Okay, in succession, I think that's the word that I want to use. So the next card is Ten of Air. It's really nice. It's not your typical Ten of Air now, is it? It's not the swords in somebody's back, and that's why I really needed to look at the descriptions of the cards here. So in this deck, Ten of Air talks about Ten of Swords, talks about you being the alchemist. Okay, so all of these cards talk about being the alchemist. Okay, as we need to be reminded on a regular basis that we are the alchemists in our own life. We can give our power away, or we can go back and get it, okay? Ten of Air here talks about not carrying other people's burdens, that the rainbow that you're creating, the things that you want to create in your life need to be your desires, your manifestation. This is a big card of manifestation, okay? So even if you looked at it as a traditional tarot, the 10 of Swords, that would still be your manifestation. So it's a reminder to be careful about what you're carrying. If you carry fear and anxiety, you'll manifest that. If you carry rainbows and lollipops, you might manifest that too. But if you say, look, I'm the magician in my own life, and I'm going to create good things that inspire me, not somebody else, not this person or a corporation or what somebody tells me I need to be. It should be your creations, okay? And so the next card is a 7 of, actually the Chariot 7, which is, this is the card of Cancer. Sorry, I'm a little bit off today. And I have been lately, but it's all good, you know? It's all good, I think, anyway. So the Chariot talks about the panda. The panda represents, has a panda in it. Panda represents balance, yin and yang balance. Isn't that cool? And then there's another alchemist on his back. There's a lot of alchemy going on in this deck. And this alchemist is creating a song and creating the path that the desired result by creating their own song. So this is creation through music. Yeah. I don't know if that's for somebody in particular. But moving forward, maybe not in the way one thought they would, because pandas aren't as fast as wild horses or magical sphinxes, but they are in balance. And there's something about going a little bit slower that you can actually see the manifestations take hold because you just didn't rush through it. So you have an opportunity to calibrate them, Okay, so then the last card in this little series right here is the Page of Earth. So on this one, we have this green wolf, okay? Very unusual, huh? Really neat, though. Green wolf. And they talk about the spirit of the wolf. Like, they hunker down in the winter to keep warm. And then, you know what? There's also, I have to go back. I'm sorry. There's something about springtime here. That the Chariot brings spring and creates spring in this path, in this trek she does, okay? Could be bringing spring into your own life, a place of growth and prosperity, but it can be bringing it for others to see also. The thing about embracing your own dreams and only carrying those that are yours is to show others how to carry theirs and not enable them. Okay. All right. Back to this Page of Earth. Okay. Or Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. So it shows a lone wolf. Okay. But so there's this, it's a myth or something like that about the wolves, how they would hunker down and sometimes they would get up and they would look like the leaves that they were laying in. And they could be wet or whatever. And there's a myth about that. So because of the way they looked, they thought that maybe people of that time thought maybe the wolves weren't actual wolves, they were something else, okay? Kind of some kind of magical creature in a way. This card talks about what you seek is seeking you. It's about your creativity and being who you truly are, even if you're green. Yep. And again, we're talking about expectations of others, right? This talks about you being able to see all this green that he's got flowing out of him into the ethers. And then your spirit needs to sing, it needs to grow, it needs to come forth. The spirit of what you create and who you're supposed to be. It's time to step forward and take your place. What does that mean to you? Okay, so we're just going to do a couple more cards. One is going to be the audacious and I have trouble saying that. Action angels. I really like this deck. I think I'm going to go back and do that with some of the other decks and kind of tap into the energies of those. After I learn this one really well, though. Maybe, maybe not. Okay. So I have grape stomping. Always reminds me of that the I Love Lucy show when they were grape stomping in Italy. It was so cute. Date with Destiny. Date with Destiny. Well, let's check these out. And you know what? She's hanging from a thing, and on it says Destiny. It's actual. Not date with somebody in particular, but Destiny. It's kind of funny. She's all dressed up in a red dress. Grape stomping. Get ready, get set, get sloppy. This is the messy part of the journey. Get ready, this is going to be really messy. This is when you let it all hang out for everyone to see. This is foot stomping tantrum meets splattered grape juice. Sometimes it takes a sloppy alchemy to make the real magic. Having big feelings is perfect. Allowing your life to look sloppy is super. Dirty diapers, dishes in the sink, a drained bank account can all be part of the process. Having a really big screaming fit directed at God can be part of the solution. A temper tantrum may not change a baby's diaper, scoop the cat box, or get the house clean, but it makes you feel a whole lot better. If you opted to meditate instead of doing the dishes, bravo. If you're cranky because life hasn't turned out the way you thought on this journey, join the crowd. This card arrives to tell you this process is sloppy. Going spiritual does get real results. Go ahead and do some grape stomping and know you're making some divine wine. This is truly the nectar of our inner divinity. And it talked about spirit in the other cards, right? Okay, so date with destiny. Look up, you are being guided to your date with destiny. You know about internet dating? Well, this is about going online with heaven for the divine date with destiny. The more willing you are to surf the heavenly frequencies, the more likely you are to be in the right place at the right time. Now is the time to be willing to listen to heavenly directives from your guides. This is about taking a very conscious walk of faith. It may even mean sharing your psychic insights wherever you are directed to do by spirit. Perhaps someone is in need of a healing or reading by you. Or maybe you're being called to service, to be a witness, to do nothing while someone struggles, except to listen and be supportive. Don't be late for your date with destiny. So there you go. Have a good day, and it's a challenging energy today, isn't it? I love you lots. Take care.